channel 1, right here. And for channel 2 would be here. We only need one channel because we're just putting 2 pads on a sled. We don't need both channels, so we just have one channel, 2 pads. We don't need gauze or water. We just plug them in.
There's no positive or minus settings on that.
Some there are. It's a asymmetrical biphasic waveform, and so it doesn't matter so much. But if there's a red and black, put the red distal. These are both black, so I can't tell. Slightly medial. And these do stick, so I don't need anything on top. Whoops, I'm sorry. Slightly lateral. And there's nothing magic about where these, if you're not getting a response, you know, you may need to move it somewhere. Or you're going for just sensory and you get motor, move it a little bit.
It's best to put them that way so it's covering more of them.
Now, he has a fair amount of hair on his legs. These aren't going to hurt pulling off. But if he has so much hair that it's coming up off of it, then it's not making good contact. You'd have to get scissors and cut the hair where that's going to be, okay? Or get some paper tape and But you don't want it just peeling up because then it's not this electrode, it's this electrode and what's touching. So you want to make sure it's got good contact and look down. Okay, so underneath, we're not going to use one of the pre-programmed. We got our 9-volt battery, which hopefully is good. We haven't tried these, so hopefully they are. You have this first thing says mode. That's not mode like we think of. It's a continuous interrupted surge. It is S, A, or P. S is simultaneous, so that 2 channels are going at the same time on and off, or you just have one channel. A is alternating, one channel then the other channel, and the P goes for the pre-programmed modes. So since we're just using one channel, we want it on S. The next one allows you to choose either the asymmetrical biphasic or a symmetrical square wave. And I've always said don't use that. How can a 9-volt battery give you a symmetrical square wave? And at a course that I went to at Combined Sections last year in New Orleans, there was a guy talking on electrotherapy that's an author of a lot of the text, and I went up to him afterwards and said, okay, tell me this, how can you do this? And he sent me, actually I didn't get to talk to him, there were too many people, I sent him an email, and he replied back, and it's just a modification within the unit where they use transformers to change it. So you can conceivably, I'm still not 100% assured how you get that off of a 9-volt battery. I can't give you a rationale for why to choose one over the other. They're both going to act like AC, whether they're true AC or not. Okay, so either one of those should be fine. The rate, it lets you choose either 25, 35, or 50 pulses per second. Okay? Big muscle, even if it's weak, I probably wouldn't go below 35. If it's relatively strong, go 50. So let's do 35 for hands. That's where you use it quarterly. Then it lets you set on and off times. If I don't leave it on continuous, if I go to where it's cycling, it's going to go with what I have it set here. So let's do 5 seconds on, 15 seconds off. 2 to 3 to 1 ratio. So that's all set underneath. On the top, we have this dial and then 2 intensity knobs. Okay? The dial says C, N, 15, and 30. C means continuous. It's just on. Not interrupted surge, on. I can do that and then switch it over to one of the cycling modes and it'll start cycling. So I'm not having to get my intensity in 5 seconds. Okay? But I probably don't want to treat at that fatigue. N stands for normal mode, meaning that it's cycling till the battery runs out or I turn it off as I have it underneath. 15 and 30 will be cycling, but 15 minutes cut off, 30 minutes cut off. Okay? And then these 2 are your intensity knobs for channel 1, channel 2. I just need to bother with the one that I'm addressing, but there's independent intensity knobs there. All right? There are also lights on here that will show you for each channel when that channel's on. So you want to make sure that you don't turn up the intensity on a channel unless that channel's on, because then if it goes back to it, it's strong. Okay? You ready? Now this is going to be an interrupted surge tetanizing but not fatiguing rate. So it's going to grab, but not as strongly as that grabbed at a high rate. Hold for 5 seconds and then relax for 15. I think I'm going to do 10, so it's not off so as much for our purposes today. There's a little dot that shows you where you're reading. Okay, so you know which way to look at it. Okay, so I click it on, start turning it up. Again, you'll start feeling it before you get a motor response. So tell me when you start to feel it. And I've got it on continuous. You see channel 1 is just on continuously? Because I want to get the intensity and then... Okay, and that's on 20 milliamps. I can leave it there, and now I just switched over to in. It went off, and now it's on for 5 seconds, and off now for 10.
That hurt.
It grabs pretty
Still
good.
contracted up there. It's just my muscle.
What'd you
What the heck are you doing? After 5. Off for 10. And it does that until the muscle starts to fatigue and you turn it off. Make sure when you turn it off that you turn it the correct way. Not the other way. Turn it till it clicks. Okay? Now what I've given you in your little scenarios are possible. This is what the problem is. So, if you don't know where those muscles are, I can help you, whatever. When you take these reusable electrodes off, go in the direction of hair growth with a little counter pressure. And then they're not back. And then put them back on the right side of the page. And they're smart. No, it's not on that side. So don't put it on the no side. Some of them it says on and no. So put it on the correct side. Otherwise it will stick and you can't reuse it. Okay? So think around about the